You're gonna move to Canada, one of the most inclusive and multicultural countries in the world. It's among the 10th largest economy in the world as well. The greatest education system and one of the safest places in the world makes it an amazing destination for immigrants. Do you know about its work visa? Watch this video till the end to get familiar with them. Hey everyone, I'm Behnam from the Visa Library. We provide the latest news and updates about the visas. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell first things first. We'll have so many more videos and updates. Enough talking, let's get to know about Canada work visa types. The first one is the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP. A TFWP allows you to work in Canada as a skilled worker. It's valid for 6 months, but you may extend it. Remember, you may work for one employer when you get into Canada. You must be eligible to apply for a Temporary Foreign Skilled Program. Here is the eligibility principles. Number 1 is Labor Market Impact Assessment or LEMIA certificate. Canadian employers offering you a job must have an LEMIA. It proves that the employer has tried to find a Canadian employee but has not been successful. Since the employer couldn't find an employee inside Canada, he or she needs a foreign worker. Number 2 is intention to leave. You must prove to the Canadian government that you will leave Canada when your visa expires. You have to submit documents that prove your stay is not permanent. Number 3 is proof of having enough funds. You have to verify that you have enough money to cover your expenses in Canada. If your family is with you, you must also have enough funds to cover their expenses as well. The expenses also include returning to your home country. Bank statements will prove that you have enough money to cover your expenses. It must be enough to settle and cover the expenses until you receive your payment. Number 4 is Clean Record Certificate. You must provide certificate of clean criminal records from your home country. It proves that you are no threat to Canada and its people. If you have lived in another country for more than 6 months, you have to provide a certificate from there too. Number 5 is health condition. Applicants must be in good health conditions. You have to provide a certificate as the officials will ask you. IRCC wants you to take medical tests with the approved doctors in your home country. Number 6 is job limits. You have to prove that you will not work in these fields: striptease, erotic dance, erotic massage, escort services. Number 7 is job offer. You must have a job offer from an employer in Canada. He or she must have advertised it for a while inside the country. If not find anyone and have a LEMIA certificate, the employer can hire you. These were the eligibility principles. If you meet them, then you can apply for Temporary Foreign Worker Program through one of these streams: high wage workers, low wage workers, global talent stream, foreign agriculture workers, in-home caregivers, foreign academics. Each of them is different and has its requirements and eligibility principles. The next work visa I want to tell you about is Canada Open Work Permit. Open Work Permit allows you to work in Canada without a job offer or LEMIA, but not everyone can apply for an Open Work Permit. It allows you to work for multiple employers and locations in Canada. An Open Work Permit is most commonly issued through these immigration programs. 1. Postgraduate Work Permit, PGWP, International Experience Canada, IEC, Inland Spousal or Common Law Sponsorship, Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP. A few foreign nationals in these situations might be eligible to apply for a Canada Open Work Permit. 1. You are an international student and graduated from a designated learning institution and are eligible for PGWP. You are a student and can no longer pay the cost of your studies. You have an employee-specific work permit and are being abused or at risk of being abused in your job in Canada. You have applied for PR in Canada. You are a dependent family member of someone who applied for PR. You are the spouse or common law partner of a skilled worker or international student. You are the spouse or common law partner of an Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program applicant. You are a refugee claimant, protected person or family member. You are under an unenforceable removal order. You're a temporary resident permit holder. You're a young worker participating in special programs. There are two major types of open work permits. Unrestricted. It allows foreign nationals to work in any job and any location. Restricted. It means the job or the location is restricted. Restricted work permits let you change the employers but do not allow you to change the work location. The type of open work permit you will receive depends on the documents you submit and the authority's decision. You must meet the eligibility principles and submit the required documents to get an open work permit. The next work visa is Canada Postgraduate Work Permit, PGWP. Foreign students can stay in Canada after graduation. It is possible through PGWP. Students must have been full-time students. The enrollment must be at a DLI in a post-secondary academic, vocational, or professional training program. In simple language, the university or college must permit you to apply for a PGWP. When you apply for a center, determine if they have the PGWP or not. Your study permit must be valid at the time of PGWP application. Also, a student mustn't exceed the permitted hours of work in Canada. It is compulsory to complete your education and receive the certificate to get the PGWP. A study program shorter than 8 months is not eligible for PGWP. The validity or duration of your PGWP is up to the duration of your course in Canada. If your course duration is 2 years, you'll get a PGWP for 3 years. Yes, 3 years. You're ineligible to get a PGWP if you have completed 1. An English second language course or French as a second language course or program of study. 2. General interest or self-improvement courses. 3. A course or program of study at private career college. You won't need a job offer to get the PGWP, and you don't have to work in a particular field. The next work visa type is Canada Working Holiday Visa. A working holiday visa permits young people to work and visit tourist attractions simultaneously. Applicants from over 30 countries who have signed a working holiday agreement with Canada can apply for this visa. You can find the list of them in the visa library article from the link in the description. There is an age restrictions with the working holiday visa. Applicants must be 18 to 35 years old. But you can see each country's exact age limit on visa library article. There is a slight difference between them. There are other eligibility principles with this visa as well. 1. You must have a valid passport from the approved countries. 2. Some countries may apply only once and others can apply twice. The rule is with the country. If you've used the program before, check it. 3. You must have some funds to cover your expenses in Canada. Applicants must submit a bank statement that shows having at least 2,500 Canadian dollars for the first 3 months of their stay. Number 4 is health insurance for the entire duration of your stay in Canada. Number 5, being able to submit a clean record certificate from the police in your home country. It shows your good character and that you're admissible to enter the Canada. Number 6, a medical exam is needed if you want to work in these fields. Health certificate field occupations, primary or secondary school, teaching, and childcare. Number 7, your dependents may not travel with you and enter Canada. If you're not from the approved countries, you still might be eligible to apply. You can get help from the recognized organizations. They help you to apply for and receive a visa. You can find a list of them in the visa library article again. Now it's time to talk about the most famous and most popular work visa in Canada, the Express Entry. Express Entry is more of an immigration program rather than a work visa, but it's worth explaining here. Canadian government introduced the Express Entry in 2015 to bring skilled workers from all over the world. You receive points by your conditions. Certain items determine your points in the system. 1. Type of skill you have. 2. Education. 3. Employment background. 4. Language proficiency certificate. 5. Financial independence. IRCC evaluates your application and gives points. The CRS is the system that evaluates candidates and gives them points. You must reach the standard point each year to be eligible for Express Entry. Applicants with the highest points get invitation to apply ITA for PR or permanent residency. The Express Entry program enables applicants to move to Canada, work as a regular citizen, and get the PR directly. This is why it's the most famous and favorite immigration route to Canada. Express Entry was closed during the COVID-19 pandemic, but it's back now and applicants receive invitation. There are 3 subcategories in the Express Entry system. You have to apply through one of them to get the PR. The first one is the Canada Experience Class, CEC. It's for skilled workers who have Canadian work experience experience and want to get PR. You must have gained work experience in the latest 3 years of your application. There are other eligibility principles with the CEC as well. You must have at least 1 year of work experience and fulfill the language proficiency requirement. CEC applicants are not eligible if being a refugee claimant, work without formal authorization in Canada, and the work experience was gained without temporary residency status in Canada. Remember an essential point: Canadian experience class doesn't work in Quebec province. You must have lived in other states. The next subcategory is Federal Skilled Worker Program, FSWP. To qualify for FSWP, you must have 1. Skilled work experience, 2. Language ability, 3. And education. IRCC evaluates you by your age, education, work experience, whether you have a valid job offer or not, enough French language skills, and adaptability. It's how well you're likely to settle in Canada. The overall point is 100, and applicants must get at least 67 points to qualify for Federal Skilled Worker Program. The last subcategory of Express Entry is Federal Skilled Trades Program, FSTP. It's for skilled workers who are qualified in a skilled trade. Federal Skilled Trades Program attracts workers in the industrial, service sector, and areas like this. It doesn't need higher education, and the job type differs from Federal Skilled Worker Program. To be eligible, applicants must 1. Have enough language proficiency skills, 2. Have at least 2 years of full-time work experience for their skill during the last 5 years. It means 30 hours per week or more for a total of 3,120 hours. If full-time work experience is unavailable, a part-time period that matches the full-time is accepted. 3. Fulfill the school trade requirement set by the National Occupational Classification (NOC). 4. Have a job offer from a Canadian employer. It must be full-time and at least for 1 year. Alright then, the Express Entry subcategories ends here. Now let's get to the next work visa type, Provincial Nominee Program or PNP. For sure you have heard about PNP if you're interested in moving to Canada. PNP is a pathway to Canadian PR for people who are interested in immigration to a specific Canadian province or territory. Each Canadian province and territory has its own PNP. Quebec and Nunavut are an exception. They don't provide PNP. They have their own immigration programs. The other provinces operate several PNP streams. The provinces design these streams to help meet their unique immigration goals, so the eligibility criteria and application procedures is different. PNPs are popular because they can be the easiest pathway to Canadian permanent residency. You must find the province you want to move to and find a PNP for yourself. Determine the eligibility principles and apply for that PNP. The last work visa is Quebec Skilled Worker Program. The Quebec province is a French-speaking area. They have their own immigration pathway to bring the skilled workers they need. You get points by your conditions for Quebec Skilled Worker Program: education, work experience, age, language proficiency, having a family member in Quebec, points by your spouse or law partner, job offer, financial independence. If you meet the eligibility principles and get enough points, you can apply to move to Quebec. Alright then, this was an introduction to Canada work visas. If you want to know more about them, visit the Visa Library article from the link in the description. There is detailed information on our website. If you want us to make a video about them, just tell us in the comment section. We'll prepare what you want. Before you leave, like the video and hit the bell. You shouldn't miss any updates. Until the next video, thank you all for watching.